All right, you guys, good evening. Welcome to our Wednesday night show. I know it's not quite 6 o'clock yet, and you guys know I like to start about 10-15 minutes early, give you guys a little airport ambience, whatever you want to call it. We do have a lot of arrivals, including Copa Airlines here in the next few minutes. A lot of delays today with the harsh weather we've been experiencing here in the Triangle and all across eastern North Carolina for that matter. It's been a very busy weather-related afternoon. As far as seeing too many of the arrivals tonight, we're not going to catch them on the on final, unfortunately, due to where we are. We're in about the same location we were in on Monday. So it's going to be another show like Monday, but as you saw, the departures are going to look absolutely amazing. If you were here right at the beginning of the shows, we checked out Delta's departure. Speaking of that, Delta's headed to Atlanta. That was Delta 1550. 737-9 ER. So again, the weather here today has been absolutely dramatic. Almost looked about like 8 o'clock in the evening earlier today when I was at work. I'm like, man, I'm not going outside in that. Took a test drive, lightning everywhere, thunder, heavy rain, road flooding. Yeah. Interesting afternoon to say the least. So it does sound like they're departing at 2-3 left as well as over here. A lot of our arrivals are going to be over here. We did have a Southwest arrival a little while ago. We're about to have American Airlines touchdown, I believe, or is this another Southwest? This is Southwest 1413 coming in from Nashville, Tennessee. That one about to touch down over here 2-3 right. Still forecasted more storms in the area for tonight. There is one hanging on pretty close here to the south of the airport. So there's Nashville from Southwest from Music City, Nashville, Tennessee. Got Flo the Flamingo on the move for Frontier Airlines. And of course, both of our 777s, our daily triples, are here. Got a little bit of sunshine poking through as well. Yeah, it has definitely been a rough weather day for sure. And as I spoke a moment ago, the rain that's hanging on to the south is on its way over here. It looks really bad far off to the west towards like Greensboro and that general area. Just looking at it from up here at the moment, kind of looks like everything's going to clear up, but I don't know. We'll see. Everything's moving in a northeasterly fashion tonight. I'm hoping that we get some storms tonight for the show. I think that'll make for some good content. Got an American Airlines 737 on the move. All right, let's see where American's headed. That is American 2343. That one's headed to Los Angeles. So our next arrival is going to be Delta 1018 coming in from Fort Lauderdale. It is going to be a very busy first hour of the show. A lot of arrivals due to, again, the weather. Copa diverted out to Washington, D.C., out to Dulles. Earlier today I was watching flight radar when all the storms were happening. So Copa, I believe, is our next arrival. Aeromexico left over my head as I came into the airport this evening. So we don't have Aeromexico. I'll have Iceland a little later on tonight. When I got here, there were planes sitting, well, all kinds of places, waiting for departure slots. I assume gates as well. So here we go, Copa 466 coming in obviously now from Washington, D.C. This one 43 minutes of flight time, but it is originating from Panama City, Panama. So that one is going to be our next arrival. They're going to let this American Eagle go out just ahead of Copa. I'm not going to stick too long with American Eagle, as we'll see tons and tons of American Eagle tonight, I'm sure. There's Copa. Looks like our next departure is going to be Frontier. Flo the Flamingo going to go out next. This is Frontier 2225 headed to Denver, Colorado. This one an A320 at 251. Now we've got a JetBlue A220. So speaking of JetBlue, if you guys are familiar with the area here, JetBlue did bring their brand new Dunkin' Donuts livery here the other night, Monday night. It did stay overnight. I don't think it's still here. I think it left at some point yesterday. I think we're gonna have to put our ND filter back on now that the sun has come out. Oops. There we go. Let's check on the American 777 over here. Should be getting ready for pushback here in just a few minutes. So our next arrival is going to be Delta 1407 coming in from Detroit, Michigan. This A321. A320. Said very, very busy. Hey, there's Savannah. Savannah, letting you guys know that Saturday we're doing a for the Facebook plane spotting group, RDU Plane Spotting. Be out here Saturday. We will be having a show that day, so we're going to have a special show on Saturday for the Facebook group. So we're going to be thank you, Sydney, for the One Carolina Aviation membership. I got a little bit of a break here. Again, we'll be out here Saturday in the morning. So we'll be, I'm excited to do a special Saturday morning show. And it will be at the observation park. I'll be perched right in the corner on the parking, or the I'll be perched in the corner of the observation deck. So if you guys are in the area, come hang out. Free spot. There's our JetBlue A220. Got a private owner coming in from Baltimore. Cessna Citation X. Yeah, I was actually trying to get stickers made, like for the channel, before we start, so I'd have them for Saturday, being that we will be in a more public area. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm gonna have those stickers made in time, I guess. They won't be here before a certain time. So they open the observation deck at around 9 a.m. So I'm thinking probably fingers crossed they open it on time, of course. I have run into times where they don't. But, so I'm going to try to aim, and again, I'll talk to Savannah, of course, aiming for a 10 a.m. start time. It doesn't take me but 15 minutes to set up or thereabouts. So we'll see about starting at 10 a.m. on Saturday. For us, the event will start at 9. Gates permitting. Oh yeah, here we go again. Boy, the weather here has been violent today. Got a little bit of sun right now. Hopefully that sun will go back behind the clouds here for a minute. It's definitely going to. Got a storm headed this way right now. At least some rain. There wasn't too much wind involved with any of the storms today, but man, the rain was absolutely awful. Some of the hardest rain I've seen in a while. Twice, in fact, at my location where I was at today. Interesting looking livery on this Cessna. Wonder, I don't know who all's going to be delayed, who all's going to be on time. Again, a lot of Copa just landed, if you guys are just joining us. A lot of delays due to that weather today. So there's a possibility Air France is delayed until later this afternoon, as well as the American 777. Doesn't look like they're doing anything at the 777, so it looks like it might leave on time. I know Molly's missing out on the bells tonight. We are right up close to the bells this evening. I like this livery. I like those stripes. Those are cool. Looks like we've got American A321 headed to Charlotte on the roll. Oh, look at all that wing fluff. Pretty decent shot. And there is that cloud gracing me with its quietness or coolness. The sun's right in my face. Hopefully it'll stay that way for a while. Let's check on the 777. Looks like everything is closed and ready to go. Jet bridge still attached. I did see they moved the cargo handler for the Air France over here. So that one's already off to the corner. So maybe we'll have the exact departure time for both of these today. Got a little noisy Embraer down here. Boy, off to the east of the airport looks bad. Looks like we got another American, and this one a 737. Check out that cloud. Look at that. Whew. That is an angry, angry looking cloud. So, I told you off to the west of the airport, all of the clouds look angry. This isn't even the worst of it. It's right about here when you start getting into all of the real heavy messed up clouds. So this is off to the west of the airport. So that American is American 2756. That's headed to Miami. That A321 is headed to Charlotte. No, that A321's headed to Philadelphia. So they're throwing something a little bit different at us. That is American 987 headed to Philadelphia. A little bit something different tonight. Normally, lately they've been operating the 737s out of Philly. I don't know that we've ever caught something like this. Hold on, ready? Other than when we were in Charlotte. I think Charlotte's the only time we've caught that many CRJs. 4 in one shot. In fact, that one sliding around the corner there. There is another one ready to go. Push back, starting engines. Thank you for the update. American Airlines 174 to London is on time. It's just everybody else that's been delayed today. Looks like our next arrival is going to be Delta 2600 coming in from Atlanta. This one a A320. This one arriving in about 4 minutes. So they'll change out those 2 CRJs. One out, one in is American Eagle E175 still sitting over here waiting for a gate. Waiting for them to give them an opening. So again, good evening everybody. Thank you guys for joining us on our normal Wednesday show. Got some storms in the area. Speaking of which, look at that. That cloud is ready to bust. Looks like we got some southwest. No, this is an arrival coming onto downwind. That is American 1904 coming in from Charlotte. All right. Jet bridge away from our 777. That one getting ready to push back here in just a second. Back to the 777. As we have Delta 2600 on the way in. 777 is yet to move. Alright, as we check out the 777, give me a minute. I gotta do something here behind the scenes. Somebody's not happy here with somebody. I don't know what's happening here. There she goes. 777. About to hear Delta 2600 landing. Again, I'm trying to figure out what in the hell is going on. Alright, hold on. Yeah, Savannah, it seems like they've been doing that quite a bit, actually. The last couple episodes of the show, they've been sending an A320 up here and sending it right back. My opinion, they need to be sending the 757 back and forth, but if that's such a hot flight, they need to have their biggest planes. No weird pushback tonight for the 777. The other night we had it doing weird loops. Alright, so Delta's landed. Looks like we've got Southwest 1388 coming in from Houston. About to touch down now. 777 starting engines about to be. So Southwest coming in from Houston. Man, that was kind of quick on the nose gear, it looked like. Alright, hopefully I haven't messed up my chat. So 2 hours and 15 minutes of flight time roughly for this one. My sister-in-law is out here somewhere. I think she departed on the backside. She's flying Southwest going somewhere. I have no idea where she's going. I think she departed already. Getting a lot of text messages back and forth in a big group family text. There you go. I don't know if you guys can hear the startup of American 174. Next arrival is going to be in American Airlines. That American 1904 coming in from Charlotte. Hey, we got Scott in the house. Yeah, my chat's frozen. Kind of. It missed a lot of messages, it looks like. There it goes. Now it looks like it's back on par to where it's supposed to be. I don't know what happened to it, but being that I was looking through the chat, that may have messed it up. So looks like my chat is flowing back normal. Got about 32 different things going on here. So American 1904 landing quite quietly. Pulling off the runway now. Looks like our next arrival is going to be another Southwest. Southwest 446 headed to, or coming in from Bewee. This one's going to be on a MAX 8. Thank you, Matt Man, for that one gifted membership. Greatly appreciate the support, you guys. You guys are awesome. Make sure you guys smash the like button. You guys know it helps the channel. And of course, we've got the big girl on the move, American 174. So all that dirt you're seeing over there by the Air France tail, and as we pan with American here, that is for the new runway being constructed here at RDU. No timeline on when it'll be done, because there is a lot of work to do. They've got to move a road around and all kinds of stuff. So there's no telling when this runway is going to get done, but they are moving a lot of earth. They did cut down a lot of trees over there. So, and so the runway that they're using today, when that new runway opens, this will be the taxiway for them. Aha, Barbara. So we had, RDU had the Dunkin' Donuts livery here Monday night. Stayed here part of the day Tuesday, maybe all day Tuesday. I didn't see it, unfortunately. Monday was its first day out and about, but it came in way too late for me. As many of you guys know, I had to be up 5 a.m. 11 p.m. hanging out here is just a smidge too late, especially when it's dark. As dark as it is, I wouldn't have gotten any good photos or anything of it, so we didn't bother. I'm sure we'll see it very, very soon. Well, that's interesting. American stopping out there. So yeah, I didn't get to see it on Monday. We didn't see it here on the show, but it was here Monday. Again, I believe it stayed most of the day on Tuesday. I know RDU posted a thing over on Instagram, one of their stories about that plane being here. Keep forgetting to check how many emojis we have so I can see if you can.
I thought about that today. I was trying to make time for it.
Yeah.
Can't squeeze it in.
It's hard. It's hard to squeeze in, you know, everything. I need more thumbnails and stuff, and it's like. Nice. There's a location at DCA that I want to get to. I don't still know where it's at. Huh. Exactly what I thought that was. Sorry, doing a little car spotting here. That is a Boost Blue Civic Type R. I wish my Type R was Boost Blue. Or Phoenix Yellow, if you guys know anything about Hondas. Anyways, maybe we'll car spot that as it comes out from around behind that building there. So this one touching down here, this is United Airlines 1458. This one coming in from Newark, New Jersey. Again, quite a surprise that we're getting anything out of Newark right now with whatever issues they were having. I don't know if they're still having them or not. But I know a lot of issues there in Newark. So I apologize that it gets so dark on the airplanes here when they cross under the building. The building being so bright messes with my with the camera, unfortunately. If the sun decides to dip back out, it'll stop doing that. I don't know what this does. I'm gonna try something a little bit different. See if we can minimize that as much as possible. So we're waiting on Air France's pushback. American 174 Heavy headed back to London, already down toward the end of the runway. Forgot JetBlue hasn't even left yet. We still have that JetBlue A220. We got a couple of planes sitting at the end of the runway. We got Republic Airways 4756. That one's going to be headed to LaGuardia. That's an E175. Looks like they're pulling it out onto the runway here in just a moment. And of course that JetBlue is JetBlue 86. They're headed to JFK. And then of course American just popped up on flight radar. Oh, I need a good cloud again. Yeah, that'll make Washington Dulles very, very busy. But I agree. Well, I thought that E175 was creeping out. There it is. I can really only see the end of the runway based on what flight radar is telling me. switch. All right, here we go. American 174 Heavy. Looks like they're out on the runway ready to go. Enjoy. The weather off to the west has really cleared up. Again, I'm battling the sun at the moment. We did have American Airlines touchdown at 7:37 a moment ago. That was, well, it's already gone off flight radar now. Hey, we got Alaska Airlines coming down for their departure. Alaska 572. And this is going to be a MAX 9 headed back to Seattle, Washington. And if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please do so. It helps us a whole lot. The more you guys interact, the more people will find the channel. So if you haven't hit the like button, please do so. And by the way, so I wanted to give you guys a little bit of an update. We started the show today. We had 4,959 subscribers, so we are getting much, much closer. So if you're new, please subscribe. I don't know that it's given me any updates here. I think it said 47% of our viewers are unsubscribed. Another American 737 touching down. No special livery for this one tonight, unfortunately. I did post a short, if you guys saw that earlier this morning. Very, very early this morning I posted the Disneyland Galaxy's Edge special livery that we had here on Monday evening. So Matt, man, I believe we might get there before then. I do have 2 shows this weekend. We're going to be there. We're going to be here on Saturday and Sunday. Saturday, it's going to be early in the morning. Going to be about 10 a.m. Going to do a little bit of a special show. We're going to be in a not highly requested place, but we are going to be on the observation deck on Saturday. Hopefully, weather will be good. Again, that'll be about 10 a.m. on Saturday. So keep an eye out for that, and then we'll of course be here on Sunday, weather permitting, of course, as always. Don't have anything going on this weekend. The following weekend, though, I've got some camping and other things, so we'll try to do some other stuff. But I think after that, I'm free and clear for the rest of the year. Not the rest of the year, but for a while. I won't have to take off any more Sundays. I'll even be out here Father's Day, probably. Hey, Susan. So we'll see. We'll see how many we get Saturday and Sunday. Again, Saturday is going to be an early morning show-ish, early-ish. It's not typically one of our morning shows. Aren't typically favored to gain any new subscribers or anything to that effect. But you never know. YouTube is, well, YouTube. YouTube does what YouTube wants to do. Looks like our next arrival is going to be Republic 4560 coming in from New York, arriving in 6 minutes. Going to be coming in from LaGuardia. And it got really, really hot. Gonna have to undo a shirt. Thank you, Bridget Klaus. Good night. We will see you hopefully Saturday. Whew. Got really warm. I'm sweating like crazy all of a sudden. Very, very hot with the sun. So that last American was American 533 coming in from Chicago O'Hare. 1 hour and 33 minutes of flight time for that 737-800. Just waiting on Air France to push. Should be any moment now. I know as soon as I move the camera, they'll push. They are already delayed, it looks like. Normally they are moving by 6:30. Now 6:42, no movement from them just yet. As we await Alaska, we still have JetBlue down there ready for departure. Looks like they're going to go after Alaska. JetBlue again, JetBlue 86 headed to New York. Here comes Alaska Airlines, Alaska 572 back to their base in Seattle. Again, this is the MAX 9. For Alaska. Oh, the sun is right in my face. Sorry, I had to make a transition, look down at the computer, block the sun from my eyes. Yeah, Will, I wish I would have been here for the JetBlue Duncan, but unfortunately I had other things to do. I knew it was coming Monday. We were talking about it earlier. It stayed most of the day yesterday, I believe. So if you guys are just joining us, lots and lots of delays from earlier in the day due to the chaotic and crazy weather we've experienced here today. Lots of hard rain, thunder, lightning, flooding, you name it. It's been an intense afternoon. Robbie's going to the H Hotel, right? Good evening, Robbie. So JetBlue, there it is. JetBlue and that A220 headed it back to New York. Struggling to hold a steady hand today. So it's an A320. So it's not a new aircraft from what I understand. I think it was painted over one of their old liveries. But good, it's still good to see it here. The RDU posted a couple of things about it there on Instagram. Looks like we've got our next arrival. That's going to be Republic Airways 4560 coming in from New York. Coming in from LaGuardia. Again, wait on that Air France to push back. They got Deltas in United's gates. They got United and Frontier gates. Speaking of United, there we go. United 737 on the move. Really use a cloud right now. There we go, finally. The star of the show. Make sure if you guys haven't smashed that like button, please do so as our Air France 777 pushes back. Looks like our next arrival is going to be Republic Airways via United Express coming in from Washington Dulles. Republic 3643 is going to be our next arrival. Going to have Delta from Boston in an A220-100 landing over on 23 left. We do have the FedEx 767 arrival here in about 5 minutes. This one's FedEx 785 coming in from Memphis, Tennessee. So we're going to have a couple of heavies right here back to back. We also have Delta 1097 coming in from Atlanta. Alright, United's touching down now. That's an E175 again. We're going to skip out on the E175 as the star of the hour is pushing back. Figure out the rest of that here in a minute. Hopefully we don't have any internet issues because it did get so hot all of a sudden. Again, I'm sweating buckets now. No breeze, no nothing up here. Need a little something. Alright, enjoy the 777. you guys are following along, you know why we're sitting here waiting right here. Waiting on that FedEx 767. As Air France gets a move on. That 777. Here we go, FedEx. About to touch down right now. And there goes Air France, again on the move. Me and my tripod aren't getting along today for some reason. Oh, thank goodness a cloud. So make sure you guys smash the like button. Again, this one looks like it's delayed by just a little bit here. Probably was delayed coming in due to all of that weather earlier. Now for our 767, gotta give it a little close-up love here. So we got an A321 poking its head out as well. Fadia, yes, actually, very much so. With the humidity from all the rain today and then the sun coming out, oh. Sweating hard. So hopefully that cloud will stay there for a little while. It doesn't look like it's going to, but it's just enough to cool me down. There's no breeze, no nothing out here this afternoon, unfortunately. There's Delta from Atlanta. 737-900. Now I can stop arguing with the tripod. We'll see. Looks like we got a Delta CRJ on the move. That one is not up on flight radar currently. just have to take a lot of extra steps. I think that's part of the issue I'm having tonight. It's giving you guys the smoother shots. So that Delta CRJ, that's Endeavor 5404. That's headed to LaGuardia, New York. As we patiently await the 777. Again, if you guys are here for just the 777, please make sure you smash the like button on your way back out. I was looking at some analytics. It's like the average watch time duration for the shows is like 20 minutes. We need to get that number up. I know a lot of you guys in the chat watch the channel on a daily basis, all the way through most of the time. It's amazing what the analytics for YouTube will tell you. Alright, enjoy the 777. Taking off a lot lighter than the American 777, seems like. We were able to follow the American 777 for a long time. Air France up and out. And they're going the opposite way. They're going to go to the east. I guess now that all of the weather has kind of cleared out over there in that general direction. So we still have Iceland tonight, I believe. Speaking of Iceland, there we go. Ice 821. Coming in just 3 minutes, all the way from Reykjavik. 6 hours and 10 minutes of flight time. About 6 hours and 13 minutes by the time this MAX 9 touches down. So arriving in just 3 minutes, Iceland. Looks like we got a couple of E-175s about to push back. If I'd have known it wasn't going to rain, I should have went up on the roof today. I think I would have been a little bit better off. I would have had my back more to the sun than we do right now. So, as you can see there, partially in your screen, this E-175 pushback. Flight radar having issues and glitching and stuff. Still says Iceland's 3 minutes out, but it's crossing I-540 right now. Looks like we got quite the lineup out there for departures here in just a few moments. So Iceland about to touch down here in just a moment. Again, flight radar being weird, saying now it says 1 minute and it's about to touch down. They've been doing a lot of weird things lately. As far as flight radar goes, it's been glitchy. There she is. Iceland flaring 9 nicely, that max 9. 6 hours and about 15 minutes of flight time for this one. This is the one we saw last week. This is the one with the stuck-on beacon on top, as you can see. We saw this one, like I said, I don't even remember what day that was. Maybe that was last Wednesday. We saw the one with the stuck beacon. Oh yeah, we got 2 more Deltas headed out. We've got 2 more American Eagles. This one here, and there's another one on pushback, about to push back. Fingers crossed that Iceland will come around, but it doesn't look like anybody's out there greeting it, so it looks like it's going to be on the west side of the terminal. As we have Delta lined up, ready to go. That is not the one that's on the move. This one not on radar. Man, this one's gonna drag it out here. There it goes. Here goes the other E175 pushing back. Got an A320 on the move. I think this one's headed it back to Atlanta. No, this one's Delta 2546 headed to Minneapolis. And that is an A319. Tension on that, not that much, so hold on. There we go. Waiting on the tripod to catch as I adjusted a setting there. So we got another Delta on the way out. Looks like all of these were delayed from earlier. So that was Delta 1409 headed to Salt Lake City. That first one, the 737. Looks like we got Delta 1275, another A319 headed to Tampa, ready to go. Iceland. We almost missed Iceland turning into the gate. We practically did here. I apologize. Thought they were going to leave that one alone. And the weather looking crappy to the south of us again. Again, I did put in the title, it's going to be stormy, so we have all kinds of chances for storms and such. So hopefully we'll get these nice thick clouds here in just a minute and it'll cool me off. So again, we're trying to reach 150 likes tonight, so if you guys haven't yet smashed the like button, please do so. And I haven't decided who our last plane of the show is going to be just yet. If it's anything like Monday and Iceland leaves late enough, we may stay for the MD-11 departure. We're in a great location for that departure tonight. Left like an absolute rocket the other night. So a couple of E-175 switching positions here. Got another Delta on the move, ready to roll. Is this our A320 back to Atlanta? Or is this an A321? You'll see how dark these clouds are here in just a minute. Just to the south of us. So there you go. More dark and stormy weather. We got the E-175 finally making its way in the gate. That one waiting quite some time for that gate. So it was the A320. Hold on, I've gone away from flight radar. I'm trying to do. So, that is Delta 1407 headed back to Detroit. I don't know if the tripod got hot or what, but it is definitely not doing me no favors this evening, that's for sure. Where is this American A321 going? Looks like we got somebody else on the runway there, ready to go. That's CRJ. Headed to Nashville, Tennessee. That's Endeavor 5152, CRJ 900LR. Looks like we get another CRJ, Endeavor 5519, headed to Austin, Texas. Don't know if that's the one on the runway at the moment. Why is it showing up as a CRJ? So this is American Eagle, I think. Yeah. So we got American Eagle, this one not on flight radar. Good question, Matt, man. It's really hard to keep some of the equipment cool. The computer never usually gives me any problems. The only thing that really gives me problems is the camera. If it's really hot, it's sitting in direct sunlight. Then we have to turn down the quality on the camera. The camera itself is set to 4K. So when it gets really hot and it says too hot and it shuts off, then we downgrade it to 1080, and then it doesn't have any more problems. All of the doors and stuff stay open on it usually. The computer, I've never had a problem with overheating. The one thing that I always seem to have problems with overheating is our Wi-Fi hotspot, unfortunately. And there's really no way to keep it cool. When we use the cell phone, it usually doesn't have problems. I try to keep it in a cooler or some sort of ice bag or something handy for that one. So that last one we just saw take off is Envoy 3636 headed to Chicago O'Hare. With another E175 LR, here comes our CRJ to Austin. And as far as the tripod goes, the tripod, when the fluids inside the tripod get hot, it is a lot harder to keep it straight, level, and stop all that shaking around. One of these days we're going to buy one of them $4,000 tripods. Alright, so our next arrival is going to be Delta 689 coming in from LAX. This was the flight you were on, isn't it? Were you on this one? Yeah. So I know you guys have heard me talking in the background. We've got our buddy Scott here hanging out with us. Scott Leonard, the one and only who makes our emojis. A good friend of the channel. As a matter of fact, him and Brianna watched my very first live stream. Way back in, what, 2022? July of 2022. Had absolutely no clue what we were doing. So, Delta 689 from Los Angeles. This one's going to be a 737-900. Arriving in just 1 minute. Ramona Aviation gifting 1 Carolina Aviation membership. Thank you, Ramona. Thank you, Greg, for the update. 120 likes. Make sure you guys smash the like button. We're trying to get to 150 tonight. Hopefully we'll have a nice sort of ending to the show. Hopefully the storms will roll in again. It's indefinitely about to block the sun, thank goodness. So we might be able to take the filter off. Delta looked a lot closer on flight radar. It's crossing now. And congratulations to the folks who gained the memberships. There's Delta from Los Angeles. And that was 4 hours and 10 minutes of flight time, so not too bad for the 737. Definitely, actually that's exactly 2 hours shorter than the Iceland flight from Reykjavik. Next arrival is going to be American Airlines 1426 coming in from Miami. This is a 737-800. 1 hour and 41 minutes of flight time. This one arriving in just 1 minute. It says 1 minute and it's like, it's still way out there. It's weird how flight radar is doing us today. They have. So the frequencies have changed for summertime as well as the amount of flights. I think we have a couple more airlines to add a couple more routes, I think. But I think we're pretty well on par. We do have Air Canada at Vancouver, and we have WestJet later this spring. I'm excited for Air Canada. I'm also excited for WestJet. WestJet, I never thought we would get WestJet. So I'm pretty excited about WestJet. Hopefully we'll see it here on the show. I don't know exactly the frequencies of WestJet or the Air Canada flight from Vancouver. I know we have Air Canada and that beautiful A220 here earlier in the days. So hopefully as the summer goes on and we get back to a regular Sunday schedule, we'll be able to see that Air Canada A220. There we go, American from Miami. And congratulations to our 5 gifted members. Thank you, Brianna, as always. Miss Carolina, gifting out those memberships. Looks like our next arrival is going to be United 1850 coming in from Newark. We've got one on the move. Looks like an American Eagle. That one not on that flight radar. Lot smoother now that the tripod's cooled back down. Not in the direct sunlight now. Leaves at 8 a.m. next morning. The WestJet comes around 5:30. Nice. So fingers crossed we'll have that WestJet. And of course we'll make try to make some special appearances to grab WestJet, of course. We still have yet to see Bermuda. Again, that's such an early weekday flight. I don't get to take enough time off to come out and give you guys Bermuda. It is an E190. Some contrails off of our 737. This one, another MAX 9. So this is the third MAX 9 of the day. Or is this the fourth MAX 9? Did we have two Uniteds? I know Alaska was a MAX 9, as well as Iceland. Now this one definitely makes 3, but I thought we had another MAX 9 from United earlier. The weather brewing off to the west. So the American Eagle that departed a minute ago, that's Republic Airways 4755. That one's headed back to New York. Headed to LaGuardia. Tony, that's what we're working on. I thought we'd have enough or we would have some here for Saturday, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any for Saturday, unfortunately. We got an American. It's American A321. That one headed to Philadelphia. So American keeping me on my toes now. Normally they had all of the A321s just coming back and forth from Charlotte and using 737s from all other major hubs, but yeah, Tony, thought we were going to have some by Friday, but we're not. Doesn't look like we're going to have any by Friday. So we're going to do special Sunday, or special Saturday. There we're going to hang out with the plane spotting group of RDU. This will be the first time I've actually been able to hang out with them and come to an actual meet. Normally I'm either working or have something else to do. There's our MAX 9 from Newark. Waiting on a Delta to get out of the way. Let's see, who do we have out at the end of the runway getting ready to leave? It looks like we've got another A321 from American Airlines. Now this one is headed to Charlotte. This is American Airlines 1479 headed to Charlotte. Really good look at that MAX 9. Our A321 getting a move on here. I'm not officially. good wing fluffage out there. The planes that deal with this humidity just like we do. Very, very humid. Hey, hey, Molly in the house? What's up, Molly? Long time no see. I know you're busy. I'm only teasing you. I know you've been very, very busy with getting your students ready for finals. Got some sun rays poking through the clouds over there. I'm not going to get too much of a sunset tonight, I don't think. Looks like we got a Delta on the way out. Delta 2600 headed back to Atlanta, Georgia, that A320. There you go, Miss Carolina getting us some stickers for the channel and the show. I'll have those packed away in the car. So anytime we're up here doing shows and you guys come and visit, we'll have stickers finally. Yeah, it's definitely raining to the south. And then of course you've got this. I was saying earlier, Tony, that today was a very chaotic weather day around here. We had a lot of rain at work, flooding. It flooded the dealership in spots. Not the actual building, but certain places around the lots, just flooding it like crazy. Luckily not in places where any of the cars are kept. It's mostly on like the roadway type deal around the dealership. So definitely an interesting day. I'm hoping that we'll get a little bit of weather tonight here before we end the show. I'd like to have some thunder and some lightning here. That was the other thing that was pretty significant today. A lot of lightning, a lot of thunder. Looked like it was about 8:30 at night outside at one point. It was really, really, really dark. So I was really, really scared that we weren't going to be able to put on a show today. I was worried we wouldn't have a spot where we could be and be safe. Yes, Molly, I will be doing a show probably around 10 a.m. if all goes well. So I'll be at the observation deck at around 10 a.m. on Saturday. And then, if all goes well, should be a normal Sunday. So we're going to do back-to-back shows, Saturday and Sunday. I believe you're right, Jumbo. It definitely has, 5 days. Because it rained Sunday for sure, Saturday. Yeah, 5 straight days around the triangle getting rain. Do a lunch run. That would be a good idea. It's gonna be struck down by the weather. Hey, dude, I don't know if you remember. Were you here that night that I was out here during the tornado warnings? The power was flickering, and you had all the transformers blowing up off to the south of the airport. Man, I had one hand on the equipment, ready to throw it in the car. I did not know how that was going to turn out. That was probably one of the freakiest nights I've ever had being out here and doing a show. It was definitely interesting to say the least. You can see the rain bands off to the south of the airport too. So there you go, you can see some of the rain streaking across there just to the south. That one cloud right there looks absolutely gnarly. Starting to get that silver lining around these clouds over here. There you go. We may not have a sunset this evening, but there you go. We can go with that. Looks like we got United on the move. And a unique looking blue tail. What is that? That's not Delta. Oh, it's Copa. Forgot we still got Copa Airlines here from earlier. Copa landing right after we started the show. Here we go. Alright, so Vince, Mattman, here you go. Got our FedEx ATR from Wilmington. Or New Bern, one of the two. I always get them mixed up. So the ATR are going to stop short. Yeah, we definitely have a lot of trees around the airport. It's really annoying. When you're trying to do shows and stuff, there's always something in the way of what you're trying to film. You guys will see more of that on Saturday, what I'm talking about. And you'll see some of the reasons why we don't go to the observation deck. Now, for Saturday, I'm really hoping the winds will change so that we're on the 05s. Because then they'll be pulling off the runway right in front of our location. So we'll get right in the cockpit with them. It'll be a nice shot for you guys. Yeah, the construction is coming along too. Yeah. They got some big equipment down here toward the south end of the runway. When you drive in, you can see all of that equipment. I don't know if it's like a wood chipper or what it is, but they got that, piles of gravel, piles of dirt. Alright, I believe this is Delta headed back to Atlanta at A320. So Molly, I should be there probably till, I don't know. I don't know how long the meet is gonna last. So again, I'm gonna get there at 9 o'clock, get set up, try to be on the air by 10 for you guys Saturday morning. As far as how long we'll be there, I'm not sure. I'll probably end right when we end the meet and everybody starts breaking down and stuff like that. So if that's noon, 1 o'clock, whatever it may be, it depends. It depends on how many people linger afterwards. If there's enough people lingering afterwards, we may stay pretty late on Saturday. We'll see. So Will, it's for the Facebook group, the RDU Plane Spotting Facebook group. We're all going to meet Saturday morning around 9 a.m. right when the observation deck opens. There's Copa. So Copa came in from Washington Dulles early on in the show. They were diverted to DC due to all of the weather. So yeah, Savannah was in here earlier talking about the meet in the chat. So if any of you guys are local, come out Saturday to the RDU Observation Park. Just gonna meet, hang out. I think she said they're gonna have pizza delivered out there, so she was kind enough to invite us out there to do a live show. And if you guys are a part of that group, you guys know I don't post very often over there, but when I do, you know, most of you guys enjoy those posts. I try not to go on there and spam it up with shows and stuff like that. And then, like I said, of course we'll be doing Sunday, as long as all goes well. Gonna have to get home, make sure I recharge everything for Sunday. All right, United 2485, that's headed to Chicago on a MAX 8. Next arrival is American somewhere. There it is. That one's going to be Republic Airways, 4497. That one's coming in from LaGuardia, and that is actually going to be the Republic Airways livery tonight. So we saw it on Monday. We're going to see it again tonight. Yeah, hopefully VW it's not too hot. I don't know if you were watching the show when the sun came out a little while ago, but man, I was sweating so bad. I'm right directly in the sun, so I was sweating really, really bad. I'm glad the clouds came back and blocked the sun for a little while. I'm trying, Matt, man. I'm trying to send them all your way. We got a Max 9 here right now that came in from Newark. I have a feeling it'll go back to Newark either later tonight or in the morning sometime. So we're waiting on Copa's departure to head back to Panama. Looks like we got Air Canada Jazz 838 arriving in about 20 minutes. That one's an E175. I really wish this one right here was the A220. Whoa, Vincent, thank you so much. Gifting 10 Carolina Aviation memberships. That is 17. So thank you guys for the support. Congratulations to the 17 new members today. Huge. That helps the channel out a ton. Whoa, check out this while we wait for Republic. That cloud right there does not look happy. That cloud in the distance, not happy at all. All right, Republic Airways on the ground. So if you guys are new to the channel, please leave a like and as well subscribe as long as you guys are enjoying what you're seeing. Last check, we were about 41 away from 5,000. If we don't reach it this weekend, we'll be very, very, very close, I think. As a matter of fact, well, we've got nothing happening. Hold on. Copa's up on flight radar. That's going to be CPM Copa 467. Again, headed it to Panama. So let's give you guys an update here. Have we gained anybody tonight? Any new friends tonight? We have. So now we are 4,965. Copa making their way out to the end of the runway. So we gained 6 tonight. Thank you guys. Thought I'd changed that a minute ago. So hopefully running 2 back-to-back shows this weekend will gain some new subscribers. Now for this weekend, for Saturday, we are gonna post it over on Facebook. Me and Savannah were talking about it earlier. So we'll be posting, I'll have the show up probably Friday at some point. I gotta make a new thumbnail for Saturday. We're going to go right into that left bank. Go down and avoid those storms. I don't know, maybe we'll get a little sliver of the sunset this evening. Let's go back to Republic here. So will you, if you have Facebook or whatnot, I don't know. I don't think Savannah's still here. I don't know if they have an age limit on the rules for the Facebook plane spotting group, but it's RDU Plane Spotting, and it's a group on Facebook. So if you guys are local and you want to join the group, maybe Molly can pull that up and put a link to the group in there. So they have all of the information in there. So it'll be 9 a.m. She was saying we're going to have pizza. They have pizza coming. Lots of great photos and videos come out of the Facebook group for sure. Looks like we got another American coming in from Charlotte. American 1645. Arriving in about 11 minutes. Air Canada in 15. And I believe we've got a couple out there ready for departure. Hey, thank you guys. 152 likes. Thank you, Greg, for that update. Greatly appreciate that. Apologies for the silence here. I was talking to our good friend Scott about different things. He just came back from LA not too long ago. So we were talking about that. So I tried to give you guys a little bit of a pilot cam here for American Eagle. So Air Canada arriving now in 6 minutes. Looks like we're going to have American 1645 coming in from Charlotte. That's going to be our next arrival, arriving in 3 minutes. They're turning on to the downwind there. You can see Air Canada in the distance, I believe. Let's see if we can do this here. Nope, that's the American from Charlotte. Oh, that's not even the one I was looking at. Hold on. Air Canada, I believe. There it is. But that's Air Canada right there. The only reason I can see that is because it's really, really bright in the sky. It almost looks like a Southwest, but there's no Southwest out there. So yeah, that has to be Air Canada. Now I don't see it. The sun's not shining on it anymore. A little harder to see. Check this out. While we wait for American from Charlotte, Mother Nature putting on a little bit of a show. I noticed last night about 8:30 it was still a little light in the sky. So it looks like the sun hasn't quite set, or is right about set. None of these storms really progressed any further back here to us, it looks like. Got more angry clouds off to the west of the airport, north and west. Looks like we got a Delta. I think that's Delta out there. We do have an American Airlines sitting at the end. Yeah, that's Delta. Delta 2393, this one's headed to Boston. That's at A220 you guys heard a moment ago. Hopefully this will be a really nice, exciting takeoff. Usually the Delta A220 pilots take off pretty steep out of here. So we'll see what they do tonight. Absolutely fantastic departure for that Delta A220. You can see how much better and not shaky it is now that it's cooled down. Matter of fact, it cooled down a lot. Now there's a little bit of a breeze, it cooled down a bunch. So we got an American headed to the end of the runway down there as we enjoy the sunset. We've got Republic, so it's an American Eagle, but it is Republic Airways 4804 headed to JFK. Sitting there waiting to enter the runway. It's waiting on our arrival, American Airlines 1645 coming in from Charlotte. It's another A321. 32 minutes of flight time for this one. This one must have been avoiding some weather. Probably that big one right there. So the A321 will be touching down here in just a moment. 159 likes. Thank you guys. Greatly appreciate that. Make Make sure if you guys are new, subscribe. About 47% of our viewers are not subscribed. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. There we go, American in that A321. Extra long. Still no American Eagle pulling out on the runway. Let's enjoy a little bit more of the sunset here while we can. So, Buddy is very indifferent to the storms. He's indifferent to a lot of things. He doesn't care. Sometimes he'll want to go out in the rain, though. He is definitely indifferent to any of the storms. Looks like Air Canada is going to be our next arrival. Now this one won't go back out tonight. This one will stay and leave at around 5 a.m. I believe tomorrow morning. Where they'll put Air Canada tonight, since it looks like Republic is in the way, but looks like Republic's about to push back. They've pulled the jetway away, so Republic about to push back. So Air Canada coming in from Toronto, I believe. Yep. Got another arrival. It's going to be PSA coming in from Washington, D.C. It's going to be a CRJ 900. Looks like our American Eagle on the move. This one operated by Republic Airways. Look at that. Beautiful sunset. So Mother Nature is actually giving us our sunset. Alright, Air Canada, where are you going to go? You're going to have to wait on Republic, I think. Alright, so that American Eagle is Republic Airways 4804. That's headed to JFK, New York. On an E175LR. Again, our next arrival is going to be PSA coming in from Washington, D.C. via Ronald Reagan there in downtown D.C. That's a CRJ 701 tonight instead of being the 900. They like to mix this one up, it seems like. One day it's a CRJ 700, one day it's a CRJ 900. I never know which one it's going to be. And our other FedEx ATR is on final. Looks like that ATR might possibly go 2-3 left behind us. There's PSA's touchdown. Yeah, I'm ready to see the A220 Air Canada. Hopefully on Sunday we'll see it, or Saturday possibly. That early morning flight. Hopefully we're not having any issues. I think my computer's having a small conniption here. Stuttering across the whole thing. Alright, so while we wait on them to make a move, go back over here to the sunset for a few minutes. Yep, FedEx ATR landing 2-3 left. So landing behind us. Might make its way down the hill here just in front of us. Got Sun Country 8181 coming in from Myrtle Beach. 30 minutes of flight time for the 737-800. But it still has about 9 minutes. So give or take 40 minutes to fly from here to Myrtle Beach. PSA and that CRJ is going to go right around Air Canada. Air Canada is waiting on Republic Airways to move out of the way there. So Will, you don't have to be a part of the group to come and hang out with us. Little 3-for-1 shot. Hoping that we aren't getting any stutters. anything looks weird or is doing anything weird. My computer seems to be having a little bit of an issue here. Looks like we're having a little bit of a standoff right here between these three. I don't know who's going to go first. Okay, so Air Canada. Alright, so they finally got out there to greet Air Canada. So the FedEx, Sam, is landing over on the other side. Let's see if it's going to make its way down. No, it turned around. We won't see the FedEx ATR. We did see the first one tonight. This one we will not. So Sun Country downwind currently. That is the Tide Pod. Fingers crossed it lands 2-3 right, but I'm not holding my breath. I think it'll probably land at 2-3 left. Trying to figure out where it is. Must be above all those clouds right there. So finally those two making it to the gate. Now it'll be a little quieter here for just a minute. Again, I don't know if hoping, fingers crossed, hoping that we get Sun Country in the Tide Pod livery. Plane gang, good evening. There you go, one more good look at the sunset. It's working on its way down. We just had a private touchdown. Let's see something. I want to make sure I'm not having any sort of issues. So let me pan a second. sure we're not having any issues. Looks a little pixelated tonight for some reason. Got plenty of service. I think Saturday, hopefully Saturday, we might be able to turn the quality up. Hopefully quite significantly. Yeah, we got quite the view up here of all of the sunsets. And normally if you guys are here, if you've been with the channel a long time, you guys know I typically do a small sunset segment where we take a couple of minutes to watch the last little bit of the sun go down. Unfortunately, with the clouds there, obviously we can't see that tonight. So I'm trying to give you guys the best of what we got. Sun Country turning on final. Fingers crossed that makes its way 2-3 right. We've got American Airlines at 979 coming in from Dallas Fort Worth. It's 737-800. That one arriving in 2 minutes. That one's still going to make that sharp turn to be on final. So yeah, quite the view from up here. Lynn, have a wonderful evening. Morning. I'm sure it's morning over there for you now. So we've had this one United A319 here the entire episode of the show. The entire time we've been here. Oh, are they loading bags? There we go. Looks like this A319 might get a move on a little later on this evening. So that'll be good. Alright, which side are you lined up for? Fingers crossed, Sun Country lined up for this side. Had to make a quick battery change for the computer and the cell phone. That battery seems to be running out faster and faster. Again, they're not name brand batteries, but they do what we need them to do. So you got the A319 right there, then you've got a Max 9 right behind it. Alright, so we are going to get Sun Country on this side. They have crossed, they're about to cross I-540. And that is going to be the Tide Pod livery. So we'll go over here and we'll wait. So again, this one coming in from Myrtle Beach. This is Sun Country 8181. 42 minutes of flight time. I have a feeling that they did avoid some weather or something because they went a good ways out. Let's say they went between halfway between here and Charlotte. So there they are. The nice smoky touchdown to that 737. Southwell. Good evening, John. Hope you're doing well. Trying to get sorted out where they're going. Gonna head up to Terminal 1. Next arrival is going to be that American Airlines 979 coming in from Dallas Fort Worth. 2 hours and 16 minutes of flight time for this 737. 800. Leaving some ribbons in their wake. Very loud arrival for that. Got another United on the way out. Breeze touching down behind us. Got another Breeze coming in from LAX. That's Moxie 541. Look at this. Here we go. Iceland going to push back before it even gets completely dark. Again, if you guys watched the show last Wednesday, you know this is the one that we had last Wednesday. There's that beacon on top stuck on. Iceland pushing back on time. Still lots of light left tonight. Camera doesn't think so, but let's help it out a little bit. Bump it up, bump it down. And this is a Max 9, by the way, if you guys were wondering. Drew, have a wonderful rest of your evening. Thank you for joining us tonight. Looks like our next arrival for us on this side is going to be Delta 1518. Coming in from Atlanta. That one's arriving in 12 minutes. Still south of the airport. Not sure if they'll have to avoid any weather. What do you guys think? You think we stay for the MD-11? We got about 30 minutes or so before that MD-11 starts its process of getting ready. Got several more arrival. No, they're Southwest. We won't see Southwest unless they miraculously come in on this side. If it were raining or the weather was pretty gnarly, they would probably be coming in on this side. I think the ILS is still down on 23 left, 5 right. Starting the other engine. Thank you, Greg. Yeah, I think we will stay. Unless something happens, we should be here for the MD-11 departure. That'll be our last plane of the show, as normal. Hopefully it'll be another nice, astonishing rocket launch for the MD tonight. I wish it would take off a little bit earlier. With, you know, with some light still in the sky. Yeah, like right now, just... But, unfortunately, they wait till after it gets dark to depart. Then, of course, they don't re-emerge until 5 a.m. mashing the like button tonight. Looks like we got an American A321, maybe? Nope. 737 on the move. You got about 30 minutes or so before we have that departure of that MD-11. And we got that United A319 pushing back now. Beacon's on. That one getting ready to push. Let's leave Iceland to get ready to go. We've got United on the move. Is that American? Oops. Trip over everything. There's our United A319. Got a whole line of planes coming in from the northeast. Breeze Airways sneaking in here. I did not think we would see Breeze. A220 over here. A220 gonna leave. Gonna leave us. We got an American Eagle right here up close, about to push back. Let's give you guys some information on that Breeze. Yeah, it's already off flight radar. Dang it, I missed it. Alright, so United, that's United 2641. Another MAX 8 that's headed to Newark, New Jersey. Like we got that American 737 pushing out to the runway. Got a Delta connection pushed back over on the other side. Iceland back to Reykjavik, out at the end of the runway. American 737. No, this is a CRJ. This one's sneaking out there. I didn't even see that one head out that way. And it is not on flight radar either. Shot of that CRJ. Let's see if we can give you guys that flight information. That is Endeavor 5109. That's headed to LaGuardia, New York. CRJ 900. All right, here we go. We got Iceland. That's going to be our next departure. Again, this is ICE 820 headed back to Reykjavik, Iceland. That's 737 MAX 9. No, it's the American. I thought this was Iceland. Forgot about this one. It went off flight radar. So American 737 rolling. Here we go. Now here comes Iceland. Back to Reykjavik. That one there was American Airlines 2693 headed to Dallas Fort Worth. Another 737-800. So this one, the MAX 9. On its way out, y'all. With its stuck beacon. This time. That rain out there in the distance looks really cool. Hold on. All behind it. All right, the next arrival is at Delta 1518 coming in from Atlanta, Georgia. That one about to touch down right now. Standing here watching Iceland, it's crazy cool. You can see the beacon for so long since it's on. Continuously, not flashing. Alright, so Delta 1518, again from Atlanta, Georgia. Another 737 900. John Boat, have a wonderful evening. Look forward to seeing you again either Saturday or Sunday. Again, we're almost done here. We've got about I'm going to say about 30 minutes. It just depends on the MD-11. Hopefully it doesn't get delayed tonight. It wasn't delayed Monday, and it wasn't delayed on last Wednesday. About 7 minutes. It's on 13:22, right? Yeah. It says 7 minutes. Whole line of planes coming in. Looks like we got Republic Airways 5778 out at the end of the runway, ready for departure. Looks like it's just sitting there according to flight radar. That one right there, the one that we were just pushed back, that American Eagle, that's Republic Airways 4742. That's headed to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And of course that is the E175. You can see it right there. Still a good ways out. Southwest touching down behind us. Got a whole line coming in from the northeast. I don't know how many of these are delays. I would expect now that we've worked through all of today's delays. As you guys saw, we had Copa. Something we don't normally see on our weekday evening shows. Copa Airlines to Panama City. That one diverted to Washington, D.C. earlier. I guess they went up there and hung out and sat and waited until all the weather was clear here. Come on, UPS. Republic Airways headed back to LaGuardia. Looks like we got another E-175 on the move. Probably another Republic. Try something a little different here. Those bells. Is that for PSA? I believe it is. PSA and that CRJ 700 about to push back, go back to DC, I believe. Next up, we got United 1322 coming in from Washington Dulles, A319-100. Scott's mom is on board this flight. Huge thank you to Scott for hanging out with me this evening. He's been out here taking all kinds of photos. Need to get another headset so if people want to be on the show, you guys are more than welcome to be on here. These ones, these are a lot different than the old ones that yeah. To start another headset fund so I can get another one of these headsets. I got room for 2 more actually. So we could in theory run 2 more of these headsets. Again, we're waiting on United 1322. Again, Scott's mom is on board this A319. Our other United A319 is still sitting at the other end of the terminal down there. So they moved out of the way, and now they're just sitting there. I don't know what their deal is at the moment. And we got the UPS MD-11, finally up on flight radar, pushing back. So our last plane of the night. So this couldn't have worked out any more perfect. We get to catch Scott's mom's arrival as well as the MD-11's departure. $181 likes. Make sure if you guys haven't smashed the like button, please do so again. This is our second to last plane depending. But we will be ending the show with the MD-11. I got some work to do tomorrow to get a new thumbnail up for Sunday's or Saturday's show. Hopefully I can post Saturday's show early in the morning. Alright, that MD-11 is up on flight radar. Where are you at? Thank you so much for that $10 super chat. I greatly appreciate that. Glad we can bring you guys the planes locally. You know, it is good to do it for the smaller local airports, although, as we know, RDU is growing. Little by little every day, a lot more flights. It's one of the fastest growing airports here in the United States. All right, it's MD-11 time. Enjoy. Guys, that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that MD-11 departure. Not the steepest climb out I've seen, but definitely a good one. So I want to thank my channel moderators, channel members. Thank you guys for all of the support today. You guys are awesome. Again, reminder, Saturday morning, I will be here Saturday morning down at the observation deck. Probably start a show around 10 a.m. if you guys are around the area and want to come down, hang out. It is for the RDU plane spotting Facebook group, so there will be quite a few people down there Saturday morning. I hope to see you guys out there. So Saturday we'll be here, and we'll be back on Sunday as well. So thank you guys once again. Got us close to 200 likes tonight. That is wonderful. Lots and lots and lots of support. You guys are amazing for that as well. So thank you guys. I've enjoyed it. It was a good evening. Didn't have the storm like I thought we would, but it is what it is. So anyway, enjoy the rest of your week. See you again on Saturday. Good night.